Uh, Today I'm with, oh, hello, hi everybody. Today I'm with the beautiful Athena Pasialis, a very experienced herbalist and many other things, a healer from Sydney, Australia. And we've known each other for 3 years, so I've seen her growth. And I thought she's a perfect person to talk to about health. Hi, Athena, how are you?
Hi, Dhiren. I'm so happy to be here to talk to you and your audience about improving their health naturally. Yeah,
So the
so
first
thank you.
question I got is, what is that funny looking camera on your right? Can
Okay,
you tell us
so
about it?
yeah, this camera enables me to take photos of the eyes. So I use iridology as a form of diagnosis. So when clients are referred to me or come to me, I ask them not to tell me anything about their health, take photos of their eyes, and then I'm able to um, transfer the images onto the computer screen. And from there, I analyze the body. So the eyes actually represent the body, and it through the markings and the colors, uh, I'm able to discern if there's low stomach acid, if there's cholesterol, if the liver's functioning properly, if there's too much sugar in the bloodstream, glucose in the bloodstream. There's a whole range of things that I can pick up from the eyes. Because the eyes actually are like a tapestry of your health. The eyes never lie. It's a matter of me being able to understand, and like I can read it and then tell the person, okay, I'll ask them, do you have like I said to one guy, you can't process sugar? And he said, but I don't eat any sugar. And I said, okay. I thought, all right, we'll move a bit further down. And then when I start asking questions, I asked him about alcohol. Do you drink alcohol? Oh, yeah, I have about a bottle a day. I said, well, there's your sugar. So the eyes will never lie. It's just trying to understand that person's profile, like the nutrients, how they're metabolized, how they're processed. So it really gives an overview of the person's ability to process food and or emotions. So I can see anxiety in the eye as well, in the eyes.
Wow.
So it's just, yeah, I mean, you can see things in the eyes that haven't even sometimes manifested. You can see that the circulation is poor. And, I'll say to a client, do you get really cold in the winter? And they'll say, how did you know? And I'll see the circulation in their feet is shocking. So, you know, they may not be at a really bad stage yet, but I can see the disease process happening. So, and another thing to clear up, I can't see diseased, like I can't see, for instance, a disease in the eye. I can just see that the body process is not functioning well. So I can't see cirrhosis of the liver, but I can see that the liver is really under strain. So then I go to work on helping to correct the liver or rebalance the liver or nourish the liver by using cluster herbs, 3, 4 liver herbs, which will help to really boost the liver. And then that person's health starts to come back or realign or come to homeostasis. And so that's the body really healing itself by giving the person the fuel or the nutrients or the food, because herbs really are the simplest form of food. Yeah, so this is the camera. I've actually just put it on a what do you call it? On a
Stand
stand. Yeah, I put on a stand because
or tripod.
it's really sensitive, and so it allows me to take better photos without me moving. And yeah, it's what really helps me facilitate the majority of my clientele and help them out.
So is that a scientific method? Is it validated?
Well, look, it's being used all over the world nowadays. There's a lot of history that goes way back, and I can't remember the guy that first started it, but this guy, what he did, he rescued an owl, and he noticed that the owl had a marking in his eye, and then he helped the owl. He bandaged up its claw, and then that guy noticed that marking in the owl's eye disappeared.
Wow.
So then, then he studied it further, and there's many people all over the world that have worked, like Bernard Jensen, and I studied under Dorothy Hall and Catherine Chan, but there's who were probably two of the most amazing teachers in Australia. So I was really privileged in that sense, and they're both really different in their approach. But yeah, it's easy in saying that it's easier to discern issues in lighter colored eyes. So in darker, working with, say, Islanders or Indians or Chinese, it is harder. So you won't find the Chinese using iridology. They use their system.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So can you tell me of your most uh, interesting case using iridology?
Okay, so I've got a lot. But I'll tell you one particular. I do a lot of work with fertility patients. So I had a couple who came to me, and they were in their mid-30s, and they had undergone 2 IVF procedures and they failed. So she rang me and she said, "Can I come and see you? Come, highly recommended, la la la." And she told me that she had poor egg health. So I went to work on creating a formula to improve her egg health. But then when I took photos of her eyes, I also saw that there were other underlying issues, which I wouldn't have been able to, unless she told me, or unless she went through and had a whole series of tests. So this was where the magic happened, because I said to her, "Do you suffer from anxiety?" And she says, "Well, yeah." I said to her, "Have you had chronic fatigue syndrome?" And she said, "Well, how did you know that?" "Do you suffer from brain fog?" Another yes. "Do you have irritable bowel syndrome?" This was all in the same person. And she was blown away that I could pick up all these things. Now, a woman will not get pregnant if she can't sustain creating a child. If someone's suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome, there's no way the body's going to allow that woman to fall pregnant. So I went to work giving her tonics, which were going to support her immune system, her adrenal glands, to give her more energy. And then I gave her, it's one tonic that I usually give. I don't give a lot of tonics. I gave her one tonic, but in that tonic, it also supported her gut. And she slowly started to come back into her own. In the meantime, I had her booked in for the next, I think, 4 or 5 weeks. She was coming in every week, and I was giving her a different treatment. So I do reflexology. So one week it was reflexology. The next week it was craniosacral. The next week it was Reiki. The 4th week I gave her lymphatic drainage. And she just felt great with all of them. But then we found what really worked for her, because she had, with chronic fatigue, it's the immune system that's compromised, but also the lymphatic system, because the lymphatic system cleans the body out of toxins. So by draining the lymph system, you feel amazing after. Like, it's just, you think, how can a massage make you feel that good? But It depends on how it's done. So she got pregnant, or they got pregnant within 6 months,
Wow.
which was amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I didn't even give her a fertility tonic. I didn't give her a fertility tonic. So sometimes with certain clients, all they need is a detox. For the husband, he didn't have much going on, so I just gave him a really good detox formula. And with her, I just supported her, and then they fell pregnant. So, yeah, that's what brings me joy, when you can. Oh, and then she went on to have her second child naturally, like with nothing. No, she didn't even come back to me.
Super. And what are those bottles behind you? They look very interesting. Are
Yes,
they
so these
instead
these
of
are
tea?
these are my invention. These are my teas, a range of organic herbal teas that I've created, and they all do. So yes, they are therapeutic, but they're not as strong as the herbs. So I've got like a ginger and lemongrass here, which everyone knows, and that one I use for the lymphatic system. Ginger and lemongrass are the best two herbs for the lymphatic system. For pregnancy, or if someone's got the chronic fatigue or they want to really boost their system, I give them the Nourish Me tea. But if someone comes to me and they're not a woman, not trying to fall pregnant, but they're totally exhausted, totally drained, I'll give them Nourish Me tea, because it will really supercharge them. So the teas are a really good way of getting the herbs into the body. And yeah, they're not too strong, but I've carefully mastered them so that they don't taste medicinal, so that they're really tasty. I've got, like, for instance, my chai. The chai tea, I actually roast the spices, so it's really flavorful. Yeah. So yeah, this is, for me, I suppose the way I look at it is helping people to reclaim their health naturally, and using whatever I can that's plant-based. So teas is like the first stage of that action. Then the next stage is herbal medicine, then supplements, and then food. So that's how it sort of works. So sometimes it's too hard to get people to change the way they eat. You've got to do it gradually, because they're so used to eating a certain way. But if you can infiltrate, or get them to access the teas, then they don't realize that that's actually helping their health. It tastes good, but it's helping your health as well. Yeah.
What's your number one health tip for people who want to go the herbal way?
My number, well, it changes according to the season. So I work with the seasons a lot, as do the Chinese, looking at the elements. But I think one of the most important factors, I think, in health, and it's a misconception. We are, in the Western world, we are lacking essential fatty acids when we don't have in our diet enough of the good fats. So, news and media will pick up on one thing and run it for a while, and everyone will say, "Oh, you've got to have turmeric, or you've got to have this, or you've got to have that." What I see every day in the clinic is gut problems, huge gut problems, with 9 out of 10 people. Now, if your gut is not functioning well, or if it's not functioning well, then your gut cannot actually produce essential fatty acids. If you're eating really well, for instance, I'll give you an example. If you're eating prebiotic fiber foods like apples and pears, kiwi, mangoes, bananas, these fruits contain a fiber that can't be broken down by the stomach, but when it gets to the large intestine, that's the food for the bugs that live in your gut, your microbiome. Okay, so your microbiome is also your immune system. When you eat an apple, that fiber is broken down in your large intestine, the microbes then multiply, and then you're able to poop better. But at the same time, your body is also able to produce essential fatty acids. But if you're not eating that apple a day, as the old adage goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's why I thought I'd say apple. Then you're not producing essential fatty acids. Now, the fats, those essential fatty acids, act like insulation for the nerves, for the nervous system. So just imagine your nerves, the myelin sheath that actually surrounds the vertebra in your spine. If that's damaged, then you're going to start getting nerve issues, nerve problems. So the essential fatty acids help to insulate the nervous system, help to relay messages. So it will help with brain health. It will help with memory, which there's a huge, huge, huge issue with brain health now. So you look at all the foods that are being created, they say low fat. And then when you turn the product around, they've removed the fat and they've added sugar. The sugar actually, the high sugar is actually a problem, like creating problems for the brain, because our brain is made up of fat and water. So we just all need to be eating the good fats, not processed fats, not deep fried foods. That's not the fat I'm talking about. I'm talking about having raw olive oil, having walnuts in your diet, avocado, oily fish, things like that. But if you're not getting enough of those in your diet, then you need to source a really good fish oil. Yeah, so that's my tip for the majority of the population.
Thank you, Athena.
And sorry, I need to say this because a lot of people don't know this. You shouldn't take fish oil in summer or spring, only in autumn or winter, unless they've got mental health problems, then I would keep them on it. But yeah, it's too heaty for the body in summer and spring.
Thank you, Athena. Thank you for your wisdom and your knowledge.
My pleasure. It's always a thrill to be able to talk to you and to impart just a little bit of knowledge that I've learned over the years.
It's fascinating. It's a beautiful subject. One can go on for hours and hours, but we don't have that time. But
Yeah.
people who live in Sydney and who want to be in touch with Athena anyway, I'll leave her details below the video. Please get a consult with her. She's quite spectacular from my own experience. Thank you, Athena, and
Thank you
good
so
health.
much, Dhiren.